I'm Bobby Roundtree, the city manager. Mayor Haynes is out of town this evening and sends his regrets. But believe me, that guy's about as excited about this facility as anybody I know. A lot of his kiddos are going to play out here. A lot of his friends coach and work out here, so he is extremely excited about this particular facility being here. You know, I was telling Brian a while ago, it's really been unusual for me to see the number of people that have been involved in making this particular facility come to fruition. Typically, you pass a bond issue, you turn it over to the city builds it, and that's it. That's not the way this thing happened. We had a group of people get together and been working on this for many, many years, and there's been literally hundreds of people involved in the development of this thing. And when you think about voting for the tax dollars to be used out here, it took literally thousands of people. So we're going to take a little time tonight. We'll try not to take too long. We're here for two reasons, and that's to recognize the people here that have been involved in this thing, and then to recognize a gentleman that we all know and appreciate very much. He's had a lot of service to the city of Brownwood for many, many years. So with that, I would ask you, I want to make some introductions first, and let me ask you to hold your applause or your boos or whatever it is you want to do. If you'll hold those till the end, you can do both, and nobody will know which is which. First of all, our city council members that are here, just raise your hand. I see Jay DeHay, Carl McMillan, H.D. Jones, and former Councilman Haynes. Darrell Haynes is here. Have I missed anybody else? Any other councilman? Parks and Recreation Advisory Board, I saw Richard Porter a while ago. Chairman Richard. Other Parks Board members that are here, any of them? Michael Cloy. Keith Clark. Oh, there's Keith, just a little I couldn't see. Terry Wilson, Charles Lowe. Okay, Parks Board members. I want the city, guys, I just can't tell you how many city employees and how many hours have been put in getting this thing ready. The city employees from the utility department, the streets department, parks department, engineering department. David Withers, who's our Parks and Recreation Director, could not be here tonight. And let me ask you this, David's wife is pretty critical. She's in the hospital in the Metroplex. Keep David and the Withers family in your prayers, if you will. But I want to recognize David specifically. I want to recognize Jody Kelly over here in engineering. Those two guys have gone after the grants that we've talked about tonight, and they've been specifically involved in this thing. And I'm not going to say any more department heads' names because I'll miss somebody, but everybody from the sanitation to engineering, streets, utilities, I think I mentioned that before, but I want to thank those guys for the work that they've done. General contractor, the Fang Group, Larry Frazier. Larry's here. Larry, thank you. Is Greg Dodds here? Where's Greg?
Yeah, he's there.
Greg's right in front of me. Greg chaired the Citizens for Improvement of Quality of Life. Greg and his group has probably been involved in this project more years than some of these kiddos are old. I know it started way before I got here, but Greg and the group that he's involved with really spearheaded the election and got people out to vote to support this particular facility. I want to introduce the league presidents. Let me tell you what, guys, we can build facilities like this, we can build pools, we can build senior citizen centers, but if we don't have participation by the public, if we don't have people that are involved in helping coach, helping the concession stands, helping clean up, helping clean the bathrooms, it doesn't work. So three of the league presidents, Jerry Don Gleaton of the Little League, Marcus Sanders, girls softball, and Aldo Salazar, you know those guys here? They're probably out coaching. I want to thank them too for the work that they do. And if the concession stand ladies were here, I'd thank them too. Don't ever get on the bad side of the concession stand ladies. Let's give all these people a round of applause. Once again, I want to ask you, these are the guys and the folks that contributed manpower, money, grants. Let's hold your applause till we get all the way through. First of all, I want to introduce the retired EDC Director, James Campbell. Where's James? Right here, the guy that looks retired. Brownwood Economic Development Foundation and their board, which consisted of Gary Butts, chairman. Gary, raise your hand. Gary. Is Mark Bessett, Ryan Reagan, either one of you guys here? Calvin Fryer, Rick Martin. Let's see, what about two former, Pat Corsi, Harry Miller? These guys were the ones that got on board with this project. Greg goes to them, makes the presentation, and says, you guys support $6 million for an aquatic facility, an athletic facility, and a senior center facility, and they said yes. So without their support, we wouldn't have gotten where we are today. The Industrial Foundation, if those of you used to drive by out here, this was full of old concrete driveways and foundations about this thick. That's these guys in the uniforms over there, they tell you. Full of mesquite trees, but there's about 65 acres here, and the Brownwood Industrial Foundation donated that land, which is about a $300,000 value for this particular facility. And their current president is Sue Jones. Sue, raise your hand. Vincent Ornelas, I saw Vince a while ago. Is he here?
Yep.
There he is. Vince was president, I think, during this process. And then Liz Brown was president, I believe, at one time. Terry Wilson, Larry Jones, John Sharp, and then Laura Trahoon also serves as a manager of that group. Again, we thank them for the contribution of the land, because that's $300,000 that we didn't have to come up with money for. Plus, it's $300,000 we could use to match the grants that we got. Texas Parks and Wildlife, Robin Colton, where's Robin? Get right here, Robin. Stand up here in the front. Get right here.
Stand up front, be seen.
Jody and David Withers were successful in getting $1 million total in grants from the Texas Parks and Wildlife.
Woo!
Now, it's $250,000 for these ball fields, $250,000 for the pool, the aquatic facility, and $500,000 for the senior center, senior facility. So, Robin, pass along to Tim and your folks up there how much we appreciate it. And to tell them it's not going to waste. As you can see tonight, it's going to be used. We appreciate the Texas Parks and Wildlife support. The gal that traveled the furthest to get here is a gal named Kathy Bradley. Where's Kathy? Kathy, you come right up front too. Get up here. You're right up here.
Come right through here.
Kathy came from New York City.
Ooh.
Kathy is with the Major League Baseball Tomorrow Fund. This is a grant program that Major League Baseball players contribute a portion of their salary to do work on facilities like this. We got $130,000 that we put toward the irrigation from the Baseball Tomorrow Fund. Kathy's made more than one trip down here to see us, and we appreciate that. But again, go back to your guys and tell them thanks very much, and tell them how much we appreciate it, and take a picture back and tell them it's being used. LCRA, Steve Dyer, where's Steve? Steve Reckon, representing LCRA, $25,000 grant from LCRA for the little playground equipment that we have. And I've already heard compliments about the playground equipment is right there by the stands. Mamas don't have to look at and try to find out where they are. They're right here beside us. So Steve, tell the folks at LCRA thanks very much. National Guard, there's about 5 or 6 of them here now. These guys are the ones out here on the old roads. They ripped up the concrete. They dug up the mesquite trees. They brought their equipment, their men, as a training program for them. And we're proud they needed the training because they helped us quite a bit too. But, raise your hand when I call your name. Captain Steve Nash, Captain Mark Conrad, Master Sergeant Jackson, Lieutenant McConnell, and Sergeant Whitmire. And one that's not here that's also involved was Captain Matt Calton. Thank you guys very much for the work. We enjoyed this. The TR Havens unit. They've been out here doing everything from, it doesn't matter what it is, picking up rocks, to fixing fences, to stretching wire. The guys here are Major Kenneth Putnam, right here, Sergeant Rick Harbor, and Officer Jim Roberts. Thank you guys very much. Last but certainly not least, I've had some of the teams tell us that they go to places that don't have scoreboards. Guys, we've got scoreboards. And the donors of the scoreboards include Dr. Pepper, Texas Bank, Ingram Concrete, Waldrop Construction, Landmark Life, Doc's Drugstore, Dr. Fowler, Diamond Creek P Enterprises, and Citizens National Bank. Guys, have I missed anybody? I know I have. But let's give all these folks a big round of applause. Let's get on to business at hand. Former Mayor Massey, would you come forward? And former Councilman Haynes, I believe you've got an email to read, if you will. Come on over. Let me hit you over there.
I told Bert before I was looking forward to building this tombstone. Steve is in Washington this week, not at city expense, I might add. And he sent this email for me to read today. Most people in Brownwood will never fully understand the incredible sacrifice and great contribution Bert made to our community. The hours he spent and sacrifices he made cannot be calculated. His political influence at every level of government has and will continue to be used for our betterment. He is so well known across our state that his name is synonymous with Brownwood. Thus, I think it fitting that we named this facility after him so that his name will always be tied to ours. Many people have asked me what it was like to replace Bert as mayor, but I will never replace Bert. He is quite literally irreplaceable, and we are all blessed because he chose to use his gifts and abilities for us and for the betterment of this great community in which we are honored to live. And signed by Stephen Haynes as the mayor of the city of Brownwood.
Miller to come up, and after his few words, I would like to let's unveil the sign, and then we'll let Mr. Massey get into his 45-minute speech that he has ready for us. Carl, go ahead.
He said few words, and he was probably good to advise me in advance. But Bert, you know what? We've wined and dined here, and we've roasted like a Christmas turkey. And he's one of the chief roasters I've ever heard too. But it's altogether fitting for 35 plus years of service to this city, this community, that this great facility be named after him. And I'm proud to call somebody up that's going to do the honors. And we're honored to just thank all the hundreds of thousands of people over the years that have come to this facility and see you. It's even better than overpass. And Mr. City Manager, who's following me?
That's it.
That's it.
Yes, sir. Just shake his hand.
Shake his hand.